Thanks for joining us today at the Faith-Based Security Network. My name is Matt Stedham, and joining me today is Shanna Honeycutt, who is our analyst with all things deadly force incident study. How are you today, Shanna?
I'm good. How are you, Matt?
I'm great. Today we're going to be talking about an upcoming event in Grand Rapids, Michigan, coming up on March 28th, 2026. You can find tickets for that at our website, fbsnamerica.com/events. You can see all the events that we have going on around the country, including our national event coming up this next year in Louisville, Kentucky. So before we get into, Shanna, what you're going to be talking about at that event, I would like to just ask you, what kind of people can come to this event? Is this a closed event where only FBSN members can come, or is this open to everybody?
These are open to everybody. So, our regional events, anybody can come. The people that are interested in it are law enforcement, church security teams, of course, and then pastors and those that are very involved in their church. We sometimes have Sunday school teachers, which is great too. So, any staff, volunteers, anybody from the church or law enforcement in the area.
And you were telling me that you had some pretty intimidating people come to a previous event. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I just got back from an event in South Mission, Texas, actually. It was awesome. The people there were great. But I was doing my presentation, and in my audience, there's Frank Pomeroy, the pastor of Sutherland Springs First Baptist, where the biggest church massacre has ever happened. And he is just an incredible man. He gave an incredible message of hope just prior to that. And then I had the FBI and DPS analysts in the class, and it was the most nervous I have ever been presenting because they're so qualified. And I heard my pastor recently say, if you find yourself being the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. I have never felt like I was the smartest person in the room at one of these events. So
Nice.
I learned just as much from my audience and those that are attending the event as I do online. There's so many people, so many resources to help you.
Well, and to me, it just speaks to the quality of the DFI study that we put out. That the analysts from the Texas DPS and from the FBI are wanting to be in there and hear this. They respect those results. So that's quite a statement about what the FBSN puts out in this deadly force incident study. And again, if you want to find that, you can find that on our website as well, fbsnamerica.com. So Shanna, your topic for the upcoming event in Grand Rapids is going to be focusing in a little bit on the perpetrator. So what exactly can we learn about perpetrators? I think most of us have an idea in our mind of what kind of person would do this, but they might be surprised.
Yeah, the presentation helps paint a really clear picture of the pre-attack indicators and the things that we're looking for where we can actually help mitigate those attacks on our houses of worship. But we don't go deeply into that on YouTube because we don't want to glorify the attackers in any way. And this is a public channel. So in our breakout that we do for the events, we'll take a deep dive into the faces, the profiles of the attackers. So
Yeah, my friend, he's got a colorful way to refer to those perpetrators. I will clean it up a little bit. It's the some loser doctrine. That when we're
yeah,
talking about, these events, hey, we'll talk about the victims, we'll talk about the church, we'll talk about what they did. When it comes to the perpetrator, some loser. Just
yeah,
forget their name.
yeah.
They don't
The
deserve to be
biggest
remembered.
That is absolutely true. The biggest takeaway to give the public is pay attention to leakage that you see on the internet, and then just put those let your security presence be visible, not overwhelming, but let it be visible. It's a deterrent. Just a marked police car in the parking lot is a huge deterrent. So
Yeah, there's I believe it was the Covenant School shooting in the Nashville area. That target was picked after a couple others. That shooter had chosen that target after a couple others because they saw security at those other facilities, and so there was a deterrent there for them to say, no, but I can't attack that. So
Correct.
as
And that's one that we dive into in the breakout, and we'll look at some of those writings and why the covenant was targeted instead of the first ones on the list.
Absolutely. Are there any other takeaways maybe that, somebody who wants to go to the event in March, but between now and then wants to have just some little nugget of something that they can do? You mentioned leakage. Where people start saying things online. Again, if you're not looking at your organization online and what people are saying about it, I'd encourage you get somebody to do that. Do some searches. Where do you pop up when people reference you on social media? You mentioned having some sort of security presence that's visible but not overwhelming. What other things could people consider doing in that space?
To be mindful of the people that are disgruntled, that might have an issue with your church, those even aggressive benevolence seekers. Keep note of them, and speak about it in the security team. And then, of course, those domestic violence incidents, those orders of protections and restraining orders.
Yeah, something that happened at a church that I was at. Thankfully, nothing negative happened, but we had a couple going through a very messy split that we didn't know about. They didn't share anything about that, and one party got a restraining order against the other, and they both showed up to a service, and nobody there thinks anything of it until one of the parties came up and said, "Why did you let that person come?" I'm like, why wouldn't we? We try to do this. And they're like, no, 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 I have a restraining order. Oh, that would have been good to know ahead of time. So just
Yeah.
assuming everybody knows what's going on in your facility and what everybody, they don't. You don't know unless they tell you. So a
Yes.
good
If
reminder
there's
there.
Yeah, if there's somebody that makes you feel unsafe, or that you've had a broken relationship with, and there's any paperwork you have, bring it to the pastors at your church and ask them to share it with your security team, because they're going to protect that. They should protect that information, and they're there to protect you.
Yeah. Makes me think of our friend Eric Williams, a board member for the FBSN. I heard him speak one time, and he was talking about this see something, say something method. And the organization he was talking about had a process in place for anybody who saw something they were concerned about, how to report it, and the security team was able to operate on it. So, yeah,
Great.
seeing something and reporting on that. Well, Shanna, that event is coming up again on March 28th in Grand Rapids. Who else is speaking at that event with you?
There's John Riley, who's excellent, Mike Simmons, 21 Gatekeepers, Carl Chinn, of course, Stephen Bucci, and a couple others that are not coming to my mind right now. But there's some excellent speakers, vendors there. Those are affiliate people that join us for this. So, like Gentle Response and 21 Gatekeepers.
Excellent. Well, again, I recognize a lot of those names, know those people. It's going to be a wonderful event. And again, if you want to find information about that or to buy tickets for that or any of our other regional or national events, you can find those at fbsnamerica.com/events. Thank you so much, Shanna, for sharing with us today. Appreciate you being here as always. And may you be blessed. May God watch over you and your people as you stay ready, willing, and able to defend your folks. Take care.
Thank you.